Today, we're going to be talking about fatigue and how we can change that feeling of never having enough sleep, no matter how much we try. Hi, I'm Chris Burke. Welcome to Healing from A to Z with Masterful You and KB. Fatigue's an interesting one because I do these shows early in the morning before I head out to play with the horses, which is why I tend to look like I'm about to go out to a barn. When we first wake up in the morning, we often feel like, oh, I need more sleep. And we might hit the tea or the coffee and start getting ourselves a little bit of a buzz to get the day going. We may not remember when we were children how we would pop out of bed and we'd have energy and enthusiasm right from the start for the day, right? So one of the things that's changed over the years is that we've become used to changing our experience, changing how we feel by using substances and chemicals that either help us to have more energy or help us to relax. At the beginning of the day, we're with the caffeine, and at the end of the day, we might be with, the glasses of wine or whatever your beverage of choice is. So fatigue, one of the things about fatigue is that we aren't necessarily listening to what our bodies and our minds are telling us we need in order to feel energized. So as we go through the day, instead of saying, what do I need to do right now? Like, what does my body need when I feel tired? It may need rest. It may also need a walk in the woods. We know that the pheromones that the trees give off, it's called forest bathing. We know that those are good for peace of mind and energizing, right? We might need time away from our electronic devices because it's been proven that those can cause a draining effect on our energy. So what we want to do with fatigue is start thinking about what is it in my life that provides energy to me? Not the false sense of energy like the tea and coffees and other things that we've grown to love, but what energizes your soul? What makes you glad to be in your skin and actually enjoying the day, feeling revitalized? Those are some of the questions that we'll be asking as we go through this exercise. And on the flip side, because we always look at both sides of the coin, we want to be whole here, right? We're already whole. We want to be able to see our wholeness, to recognize it, to know, yes, in fact, I am already whole. And in order to do that, we always need to look at both sides of a coin, both sides of an issue. So the other side of that is what's been draining you? What is currently draining you? I read something a few months ago that said after about 2.5 hours, like we can focus for about 2.5 hours. It takes us, I think 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that, of uninterrupted focus before our brain kind of kicks into, okay, we can do this now. So in other words, you turn off the notifications, you turn off your phone, you stop getting distracted by ping, 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 and you actually focus on something for a good 2.5 to 3 minutes. Now you're actually engaged in your process and you can begin to do the work. After 2.5 hours, you reach the place of diminishing returns, which means you're better off getting up and going to do something else that will re-energize you, because you will, after 2.5 hours, run out of that stream of focus and energy. We're not meant to sit and work 10, even 8, 10, 12 hours a day straight through. It's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for our minds. It's not healthy for our bodies or our souls. So we really want to start listening to, how do I work in a way that I'm getting the energy that I need and I'm using it in an effective, efficient way? So we're actually better off getting up after 2.5 hours and taking a 15 to 20 minute break, doing something that will help to clear our mind, put us in a peaceful state, re-energize us, even make us laugh, right? Just change the energy and the focus so that we can get refreshed and then come back and sit down, and you've got another 2.5 hours of good, useful energy. Whereas if we don't take that 15 to 20 minute break and shift the energy, we're just going to be going on really low energy. We all know the feeling. I'm getting this image in my head of where you're kind of sitting there and you're like pushing through, but you have to push because the energy isn't just flowing. And you realize after a point, like you might be reading the same paragraph or trying to write the same paragraph over and over and over again. It's because the energy isn't there. When we reach that point of fatigue, we really want to listen. And there are different kinds of fatigue. We can have mental fatigue. We can have emotional fatigue. We can have physical or spiritual fatigue. So we want to pay attention to what kind of fatigue am I experiencing right now, and what can I do to replenish myself. It's always up to us. In Own Your Experience, we have to know what we need, and then we have to be able to give it to ourselves. Because to go around in the world expecting other people to be able to give us what we can't define has never worked. We all know that, and it's not likely to start now. So let's do our exercise. Name 3 situations during the day where you feel really tired. I know for me, like 2:30 or 3 o'clock every day, I feel tired. I know when the dishwasher needs emptying, it's just not my thing. When the dishwasher needs emptying, I'm like, oh, suddenly I feel like I have no energy, right? So just think about those few things that you do in the day, or those few patterns in a day when you're like, wow, I'm really zapped of energy. And then on the flip side of the coin, write down 3 times during the day when you're really energized. So I know when I'm outside playing with the horses, my energy is up, right? That's where I feel like I could go all day just playing. I know when I'm playing fetch with my dog and she's making me laugh because she's quite a ham, my energy is very high. I know when I'm talking to people about interesting things that genuinely interest me, I feel very high energy. So list 3 of those things that make your energy high, and you've got 3 of those things that deplete your energy. Put a circle around it. This is your starting place in terms of learning to master your fatigue, learning to have the tools and the awareness so that when fatigue starts to set in, you're aware of it and you know what to do. Okay. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being, I'm so tired, I can barely get out of bed in the morning, and 10 being, I feel really balanced in my day. I know how to walk through it in a way that the energy just keeps flowing. I take breaks when I need them. Where are you right now? And this is not, we're not judging ourselves. We're finding out the truth of the situation as to where we are. Because if we can't look at where we are, we can't possibly go somewhere else, right? I always say that if you want to go from Boston to LA, you have to actually be in Boston. You can't be in Vermont saying, let's pretend I'm in Boston, now I'm going to go to LA. That will never work. So we need to say, where am I starting? It's not good or bad. It's great that you're showing up for yourself and asking these questions. Now we're going to interview that experience. So whatever number you had, we're going to find out what's going on inside that experience. It's not about who you are. It's about where you are on this compass in that experience. They're actually really predictable experiences and results that happen at each number in the scale or at the ranges on the scale. And so you will find that if you started out in a 1, 2, 3, that when you get to a 4, 5, 6, you're already having a better experience naturally. When you get to 7, 8, 9, again, there's an upgrade. And at 10, it just keeps going and going. You actually never can reach 10 because the possibilities just keep expanding. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, now let's interview that experience. We're going to say, when I am at this number, I think. Write down all the things that you think about your fatigue experience. When I am at this number, I feel. When I am at this number, I say and do. to myself and others. How many times a day do you say to people, oh my God, I'm so tired? I mean, I still say that occasionally, even though I know that that's just a message to me to tell me where I am on my compass. I still say it. Yeah. Okay. And then what do you sense in your body? So when you think about being at this energy level in terms of fatigue, what do you notice in your body? Just send your awareness through your body. Kind of scan. Is there any place that it's tight? Any place that it's like heavy? Like there just doesn't feel like there's any energy there. Just write it down. And then finally, what do you know is true when you are at this experience? What do you know is true about this experience? We're asking your intuition. We have many levels of awareness that are always informing us about where we're at and what we need. But a lot of the times we're only focusing on what we think, which means we're ignoring kind of 80% of what's happening. And that just means that we're not getting all of the information that we need to make informed decisions. So we want to change that with this exercise and really say, okay, let's do a full interview of all the levels of awareness that are coming in and make sure I have all of the information that I need in order to make a choice about what I do in this moment. Okay, now where are you going? Where do you want to go on this scale? So I always recommend that people choose like a 7 or an 8, something that feels achievable. And also by the time you get to a 7 or 8 on the scale, you're having a great experience. You'll be addicted to the process because you'll realize that, wow, this really works. I'm feeling better. I'm able to do more of the things that I love in the day. I have more energy, everything, even the things that I don't enjoy doing are happening more effortlessly because I'm not fighting with myself. I'm not pushing myself. I'm now preparing myself to have the energy I need to be able to sail through these things. Okay, so you've chosen your number. Now let's imagine that experience. So what are you going to be thinking when you were at that number? And sometimes it's helpful to think back to that childhood experience. What were you thinking as a kid? If you can remember, some of us can, some of us can't. It's the truth, right? Okay, what will you be feeling when you were at this higher experience? This more enjoyable experience, what will you be feeling? What will you be saying and doing to yourself and others? What will you be sensing in your body? What will be different? How is your body going to feel? And then finally, what will you know is true about yourself and your experience? Give yourself time to, ponder these exercises and to really get inspired by the vision of what gets created inside of you. When you start thinking about, whoa, life at a 7 or 8 sounds great, that's still you. It's exactly who you are. The only difference is that you've plugged into a different version of you, one that's more expanded, that's paying more attention to more of your information, to more of your awareness paths or zones. And that just makes you better at being human. We were talking about this in class yesterday. It doesn't make you a better human. It makes you better at navigating being human. And that's life-changing. Okay, finally, we're going to ask the question, what do I need to know or do to move from where I am to where I'm going? So what we're doing is using our conscious mind. You've probably heard me refer to the magic toaster. We're using our conscious mind to submit a question to the unconscious. We're putting the question down and we're waiting for a response. The response might come immediately. A lot of people who are highly intuitive, who've developed their intuition, will get a response right away. Others of us, it might come to us in the shower, it might come to us in a dream. A friend might call and say, hey, I just heard about this great course or this great book you should read. It can come in any one of a million ways, infinite ways actually. So pay attention to that. Be aware you've got a question out. Know what that question is so that you'll recognize the answer when it comes and then take action on that. At Masterful You, we offer free and paid programs. Some of them are very do-it-yourself, and others will hold your hand and walk you through step by step this transformation process. All of them are built around the idea that we want to meet you where you are and give you the support that is right for you at this time. So check those out at masterfulyou.com. On Fridays, my friend and colleague and I, Judy Forder, do a Q&A. And so if you want to submit questions below this video or show up live, it's at 11 o'clock Eastern time. There's information on the website. Then you can ask us questions in that chat room, or you can hear what the questions that other people ask, and we'll answer those as well. Okay, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. This healing journey has been tremendous. I mean, each of these topics that I'm looking at are actually changing the way I'm feeling in my experience, because I'm finding out that I still had some cobwebs down in the corner on every single one of these. It's hard to pay attention to all of these things at the same time. So if you think about fatigue for a while and focus on that, you'll get your energy level up, and then you'll have the energy to pay attention to other parts of your life that you may want to be sailing along a little bit better. Thank you for being here today, and thank you most of all for being you.